When did the class clown go so far? Students ended up in the hospital? I got blamed for killing the new kid at school because he ate an entire tube of paint. It was my junior year, and Mrs. Delgado asked me to show around this transfer student named Solomon. He seemed normal at first, but I could tell he was trying way too hard to be funny. He kept making these loud jokes in the hallway that nobody laughed at, and doing this weird finger gun thing at everyone we passed. I just wanted to get through the tour and go back to my friends. By third period art class, Solomon was getting desperate for attention. Ms. Blair had stepped out to grab more supplies from the storage room and left us working on our watercolor projects. That's when Solomon climbed up on his chair and held up a tube of acrylic paint like it was a trophy. The whole class just kept painting and ignored him, which seemed to make him more determined. "Does anyone dare me to eat the tube of paint?" he announced to the room. Nobody even looked up from their work. Virginia rolled her eyes and kept mixing colors on her palette. Cameron put in his earbuds to tune him out completely. Solomon turned to me with this manic grin. "What about you? You dare me to eat it?" I was trying to fix the sky in my painting and barely glanced at him. Whatever, dude. I just wanted him to sit down and shut up so I could concentrate. But Solomon took that as a yes. He twisted off the cap and started squeezing the bright blue paint directly into his mouth. The room went dead silent as everyone finally looked up. He wasn't just taking a tiny taste for shock value. He was legitimately swallowing mouthfuls of thick acrylic paint like it was a tube of frosting. "Yo, what the hell are you doing?" Cameron yanked out his earbuds and stared in horror. Solomon kept going until the entire tube was empty. Blue paint dripped down his chin and stained his teeth. He stood there grinning and waiting for applause or laughter or something. Instead, everyone just looked disgusted and concerned. "That's not funny, man. You need to go to the nurse right now," Virginia said. Solomon's face fell when he realized nobody was impressed. Then his expression changed from disappointed to panicked. He grabbed his throat and started making these horrible, choking sounds. His face was turning red and he stumbled toward the door, gasping for air. 20 minutes later, we heard sirens. An ambulance pulled up to the front of the school, and paramedics rushed in with a stretcher. They wheeled Solomon out with an oxygen mask on his face, while the whole school watched from the windows. My stomach dropped when I saw how serious it looked. The principal's voice came over the intercom, calling me to his office immediately. When I got there, Mr. Matthews was sitting behind his desk looking angrier than I'd ever seen him. The nurse, Mrs. Franklin, was there too with her arms crossed. "Why did you tell Solomon to kill himself?" Mr. Matthews asked before I even sat down. I had no idea what he was talking about. I didn't tell him anything like that. "Solomon told the paramedics that you dared him to eat paint, that you pressured him into it when he was just trying to make friends at his new school." Mrs. Franklin shook her head at me like I was some kind of monster. They kept me in that office for the entire rest of the day. They called my parents, who rushed over from work, absolutely furious. My mom was practically screaming that I would never encourage someone to hurt themselves. My dad kept demanding to know why they were treating me like a criminal based on one kid's word. Mr. Matthews told us that if Solomon died, I would be facing criminal charges for assisted sewer slide or manslaughter. Those were the longest 24 hours of my entire life. I couldn't eat or sleep just thinking about how my whole future was about to be destroyed because some attention-seeking idiot ate paint and blamed me. While I was lying in bed, stressed out of my mind, I opened Snapchat. Kay Lee from art class had posted a video to her story. It showed the whole thing. Solomon standing on the chair begging for attention. Everyone ignoring him asking me directly, and me barely looking up saying, "Whatever, dude," while clearly focused on my painting. Then him choosing to eat the paint while everyone told him to stop. I tried showing the video to my parents and the principal, but they said social media wasn't real evidence. They kept me home from school the next day while we waited for news from the hospital. Finally, around noon, we got the call that Solomon was stable and recovering. When they questioned him again with his parents present, Solomon started changing his story. He admitted maybe he misunderstood what I said. Maybe he got carried away trying to fit in. Maybe nobody actually dared him to do anything. Within hours, I went from facing criminal charges to being completely cleared. Solomon got expelled immediately. Turns out this wasn't his first incident at his previous school either. He'd been kicked out for putting a rubber willy on a teacher's chair, hoping she'd sit on it, and claimed another student told him to do it.